Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me in another of my videos. Today I look out of the window and instead of the last couple of days in which we've had some beautiful sunshine, the pilot's obviously well rested now and their aircraft has been serviced, I notice that the clouds have all come over the whiteness, the grey and the blocking out of the sun. So if you didn't manage to get in the south of England or wherever you happen to be in the last couple of days your fill of vitamin D from the sunshine, then tough, I'm afraid to say, it's all vanished. But maybe it is just natural cloud that's come over. Maybe. Who knows? What about the fog, eh? Are we still feeling the repercussions of the fog? Have you heard the latest on that? Well, I've had a correspondent from one of my lovely viewers, Sean, who tells us his thoughts on the fog, and I thought that would be worth having a little look at with you and I together. So here we go. Excuse me. He says, the fog. I realised that after day 4 of 24-hour fog, something was wrong. It wasn't normal, and a lot of people I've met that I don't know, I work in a strange travelling cycle, he says, have had bad throats. Some very ill, especially over Christmas Eve and the day before it started, and it lasted exactly 7 days, which is odd if you believe time is a thing, which I don't. Anyway, he says the fog, it dropped around the time of the drones. The fog was world-ish wide, USA, UK, India, Australia, New Zealand, and so far I've seen in the same week. And the thing is, he says, notice how clear the sky is now. Well, it was incredibly clear the last 2 days. That's what I was getting at. Notice the yellow, not white sun today. Notice no planes are dropping chemtrails. And I don't know if you saw any chemtrails over the last 2 days in England, but down here on the south coast, we didn't have any. So he says, my current hypothesis is this. Number one, the sun hit a maximum with flares at Earth, some moon protection. The orbs that are not human or drone or alien are photon electric ball lighting and photon balls. This coincides with the aurora derealization slowing down to Brazil level. The sun affected the sky by radiational fog. It's a real thing. The name might be slightly wrong, he says. This brought all the crap from the skies down to ground level, such as a fog in this instance is, hence, the particles being photographed and the illness. So in other words, all of this has sort of dropped it down, which is grand. Human drones, or, oh my God, aliens, LOL, he says, used tech to bring the chemicals down from the sky for strange reasons. Maybe legal upcoming issues or effects of sun polarization had it been left in the sky. I see stars clearly now. There is something else about the sun that people don't know, and it's relation to sudden death and COVID. But if I ever meet you, I will tell you. Well, he's left us hanging on that one. I didn't know what that is, but we'll find out hopefully in due course. He says, I think the powers that be are aware of something to do with the sun that we don't know and have forgotten. I think they know it's coming, it's happened before, and it will again, from Sean. So there we are. That's his hypothesis. What do you make of that? That some sort of whatever beings and what have you, the fog was necessary to clear the sky and bring everything down. It was certainly lovely to go out yesterday, go for a stroll down to the seafront as I did in what seemed to be very clear skies. And I haven't had my inbox filled up with those drones. Have they all gone away now? Those mysterious UFO drones, have they disappeared or are they still flying about? Somebody also said to me that in July is when the aliens will be, fully disclosed to everybody. We're going to have 6 months of this slow sort of soft disclosure to try and educate people that aliens exist and we're under a big threat. And you think, well, why would it take 6 months for aliens to get to that stage? If they wanted to come and sort out the world, they could easily have done it. If they got the technology to fly across the world and all of that, I personally think it's all a load of bunkum. As I do with the bird flu, by the way. That seems to be continually trying to get out there, but we're all laughing at it. We're all laughing at it and saying, actually, do you know what? Viruses don't exist. Therefore, how can it transfer from one thing to another? It can't possibly if it don't exist, if it's not a thing. If you have not been able to isolate it and show me in the palm of your hand the virus sitting there, then it don't exist in my book. It don't exist, and no matter how much you're trying now to sort of say, oh, well, you might need to wear the masks again, and you go, oh, my God, please. A friend of mine sent me a link saying that in Wales, the Welsh hospitals now are demanding that you wear the masks again for fear that bird flu might well be, airborne and going across. It's all a load of old hokum. And then I got this. Bill Gates' creepy, costly plan to destroy the atmosphere. Let's have a little look at this. This was sent to me. Bill Gates' creepy, costly plan to destroy the atmosphere and store CO2 underground moves forward, apparently, in Canada. And I don't know where the link is to this. There's a subscribe on a Substack up here. Anyway, so here he is. We saw him yesterday. He seems to be getting all the publicity at the moment, does he not? This is by Lance D. Johnson on December the 22nd, 2024. Bill Gates funds Canadian startup Deep Sky to remove CO2 from the atmosphere. I mean, the most ridiculous notion there is. He surely, he's a relatively intelligent guy. He knows what he's doing. He's trying to kill us all. The program aims to store carbon underground and sell carbon credits. Critics question Gates' motives, as anybody would, and ought, really, seeing it as a step towards controlling the planet. Of course, well, finally, people are looking in that direction. Good gracious. Direct air capture technology is expensive, energy intensive, and unproven at scale. Yes, and it's a stupid idea. Gates' involvement raises concerns about population control and global manipulation. Well, we all know this. I mean, this is the most ridiculous thing, isn't it? Bill Gates has a plan to suck CO2 out of the atmosphere and destroy the planet. Bill Gates has always been a man with a plan, he says here, or rather a man with many plans, but his latest venture in Deep Sky project takes ambitions to a whole new level of dystopian creepiness. This isn't just about saving the planet, this is about controlling it. Gates, the billionaire tech mogul turned self-appointed climate saviour, is now funding a Canadian startup to suck carbon dioxide directly out of the atmosphere. Sounds noble, right? Wrong. It is the first step in what appears to be a deranged scheme to engineer the Earth's atmosphere and, by extension, control the population. And, in fact, kill everybody, because CO2 is, of course, the gas of life. We actually need it in our bodies. We actually need it in our plants. They keep pushing us towards plants to eat, just, get rid of cows and things because they fart, and meat's terribly not good for you, apparently, so they say, which, of course, is another load of old hokum. But if we get rid of CO2, I mean, come on, surely now that we are an intelligent bunch of people, it would seem that the intelligence out there is reduced to that. Most people have forgotten that they should be questioning everything that comes out of any kind of mainstream media, and in particular the internet as well. People like me, you should be questioning, what does that Vobes know? Is he just sitting there pontificating? Probably sharing some stuff, poking fun is what I try to do at the nonsense that they're saying we're going to suck out the CO2. I remember doing a video. Was it last year or the year before now? I remember sitting downstairs on my chair and pretending I came up with this sort of nonsense video about the idea of the great big machine that was going to suck the CO2 out of the atmosphere. Now, I have a horrible feeling that Bill Gates must have heard that, or the startup company heard that and thought, well, that's a good idea. We'll go and we'll tag Bill Gates for a bit of money, because he's obviously got enough money to throw around at most barking projects. So if you have a barking project to effectively depopulate the world in any form, whatever, as mad as it doesn't have to actually have any technical merit to it at all, as long as it's geared towards, in some fashion, sucking out the CO2, or maybe sucking out the energy, or a blood-sucking mosquito or something. Some technology that can either take the CO2 out of the air or indeed vaccinate everybody without them knowing or being aware of it, or or blocking the sun, or anything that is detrimental to life. If you've got a project like that, I would send it off to Bill Gates. You know, that's the way to get rich these days. Don't come up with a clever idea. Come up with a murderous idea and send it. Dear Bill Gates, I've got this terrific idea to rid the planet of all the people. What we will do is we have this scheme, blah, 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 whatever it is. And you'll get a check by return. Because Bill Gates must be sitting there going, with all these, you know, with the Linda and Melinda and whatever, Gates Foundation must be sitting there with a big sack from the postman, sitting there going, with all these laudable ideas, going, oh, I don't want to do that. No, laudable. No, that's no good. No, get rid of that. What's this? Save the pandas. No, I don't want to say that. Save the elephants. No. Oh, what's this one here? Pull all the veins out of every... Yes, a mammal, an electronic mammal pulls the veins out of people so that they bleed in horrible agonizing... Yeah, that sounds grand. Sounds a great idea. Here, let me sign the check. There we go. Lovely. Get that one done. That's another one to depopulate. That's the sort of thing that Bill likes, by the way. I'm not his agent, just in case you thought that. But that's the sort of thing. So if there's any other megalomaniacs out there who've got some amazing, great and fantastic ideas to sort of, you know, get rid of us all, then there you go. That is it. That's how you make money in this day and age, apparently. And then do tell me about it, because I can poke the fun out of it on this show, as all good things should be done. Anyway, there we are. The fog. And what Sean thought about it, and the new thing to suck out. Well, maybe we could all suck the CO2. I mean, just by breathing it in. We could just write to Bill Gates and say, look, actually, we've got a far better idea. Give us all £1 million, because you don't need all that money. And we will just, you know, go up to the top of a hill and breathe in that CO2 for you. We'll breathe it in a collection of oxygen and other things. And we'll rid the planet of it. We'll try not to breathe out, obviously. We'll just get a stick, a tube into the ground. And we'll do that. Send us the money, and that's what we'll do. And by the way, if we see any birds flying around, don't worry about it. We'll breathe the CO2 onto the birds, which will prevent the bird flu from going anywhere else. That would be, sounds like the size of it. Thank you very much for watching, and enjoy your day.